Masters.
I think so.
Ultra sensitive. So whatever happens, they're going to throw a lot of resources down there. On the political side, I think there are a lot of questions about how that plays and if he, somehow adjusts the schedule, if they adjust it.
Yeah. Speaking of the schedule, it looks like they cut Bill Richardson and the video of who? And the video of John Melvin. We were saying, who are they going to cut? Who are they going to cut? Bill Richardson got... It appears they did. No, they didn't. Well, we got ahead of ourselves. They didn't. What's this playing up there? We got fires burning. I don't know what it is.
This must be the John Melvin video? Is this?
Well, it's streaming up there if you want to watch it. So
see that on here.
Just the perception is reality. So they are going, if this storm is really coming, they're going to have to make some sort of dramatic change. You cannot juxtapose partying in St. Paul and death and destruction on the Gulf Coast somewhere and win. There's no win from that. I don't know if you cancel. I don't know if you postpone. That'll be a lot of drama to watch for.
Has there ever been a historical precedent for anything like this?
Where's Michael Barone?
Have they ever postponed a convention like this?
We're not saying they're postponing it now, but I've never heard of that. No, this has been planned forever. And Minneapolis,
how are you going to do it?
They've spent $50 million between St. Paul, forgive me, and wherever we are now, Denver, just for security measures from the federal government. On top of that, this means $200 million for Denver, and St. Paul is expecting, and they've spent gazillions to get ready for this thing. Hotels are all booked. We don't know what's going to happen, but we know that it's rough. John Kerry descended into a parody of himself tonight when he explained that he was actually for John McCain before he was against him. At some point, bitterness becomes a sickness. This is from Alex Connett, RNC spokesman.
I was going to say, that's not an email.
That's not an email. No, that was too well put together for that. But I guess what else are they going to say? So we'll watch for this thing. I'll tell you about a little bit of our internal workings. We have to start dispatching people. We've already started dispatching our news troops to the region. We don't know where it's going to hit. Somewhere between, right now, it looks like the Florida Panhandle and the Louisiana-Texas border. We've already started sending people. I was just speaking to David Rhodes, our vice president of news editorial, and he was like, look, we're going to have to figure out what to do. Fair and balanced. You were here, you have to be there. If this storm gets too big, we're going to have to send you down there. We're going to make decisions on the fly.
I've got the blue suit and the rain suit. No, I don't.
No. I mean, this was one of those trips we packed for 14 days. I had to bring 12 suits.
Yeah.
12 suits, 14 shirts.
That's a lot of stuff.
I have to honestly tell you this. This is a horrible way to just come off this very serious conversation, but this is actually the only jacket I brought, the only legitimate professional jacket, because most of the time I'm out there in shorts and a polo shirt doing my thing. That's the way internet video bloggers roll.
It's how it should be.
And it's too damn hot to do anything else, folks, let me tell you.
It really is.
Good stuff.
Tomorrow, well, to continue the thought, though, we've already started dispatching people, and this takes a lot of our resources. I mean, a lot of our people, all of our Washington people are involved in this stuff. We still have people in bureaus all over the country and around the world, but it's going to take a lot of moving of troops.
And think about covering a hurricane. I mean, you and I have covered a number of them.
Oh, awful.
14 for me. I don't know how many
27.
for you. But you have to move around. You have to have crews that get ahead of things. You have to be in different places. So, I mean, it takes a ton of resources, satellite trucks, and then we've got this that you got to break down, and then St. Paul that you're there.
We have 350 people involved in these things. I mean, we're not as big as CNN. We don't have a lot of spare people sitting around. All our people working 31 hours a day.
I mean, look, we gave Kentucky an antenna.
And look at what I have to work with here.
That broke the budget.
Pathetic excuse for a Mystery Science Theater 3000 antenna. I'm never coming on the show again.
I don't blame you. We may never have this show again. If anyone back in the office is watching it, it'll never happen again. Jeff Saginaw is still writing. He's 15. Brett Bear rocks. He looks like he's 17. What's his secret?
Nice. That's really great.
Actually, he was on the cover. Weren't you on the cover of 17 magazine?
It was 17 magazine. Thank you so much. What is that really what it says?
Jeff Saginaw says, Brett Bear rocks, but he looks like he's 17. What's his secret? Jeff Saginaw, Hotlanta, Georgia, home of CNN.
It's television. Wow.
It's good living.
I guess so.
Lots of golf.
That's true.
You play a lot of golf. Makes
your
hands look weird,
have
though.
Time.
Most people. It doesn't you, I guess.
I don't have time.
You and Britt played the other morning, though, didn't you?
We could go. Yeah, we did.
You could go. We could go, yeah. Why doesn't Obama summon all the godly powers bestowed on him by the Democratic Party to stop Gustav? Says Rebecca in Winston-Salem.
Come on.
We could call the Chinese. I
But
hear they're good with the
that does
weather.
speak to a point, though. I mean, you basically heard from Clinton tonight that Obama would essentially make everything better and make everything right in America. It's just another one in a long lineage of very hyped statements that people have made about Obama, and also that he's made about his own candidacy. And one of the interesting stories, should he be elected, is will he ever be able to live up to this ridiculous amount of hype that no human being could ever amount to?
All right, so what's the deal with the
Once you're
stadium?
elected, it doesn't matter what you do because it's over then. The campaign is over. Nothing that was said before
The
that means
stadium.
anything.
But the stadium, though.
The Greek-looking stadium, is that, what's
It's
the
big.
take on this?
Well, you know, it's up there on the Drudge Report, drudgereport.com, and you know, they're making fun of it. And I don't know. You know, a lot.
You know, the Democrats sent out this thing that said President Bush in 2004 had a similar set that was inside and had columns, but I don't think it looked like Obama's set.
Did it have 90,000 people, in it? I don't think so.
No.
Well, you know, I've spoken to some delegates here and some people who just, come for the show. Who said, look, the one thing that we've been griping about all this time is that, in our estimation,
There
the
it is, right
Democrat-
there.
Yeah, that's the picture of the set. It's sort of got columns, kind of White House-ish. It looks a little kind of Greek. I'm told there will be no togas there, but there's really no way to know for sure. But a lot of Democrats have said, one of the things we've complained about is that the United States, that our country has looked big and arrogant and loud and not, and then all of a sudden here comes our candidate showing off so big. It's rubbing some people wrong here. Some people are worried about it. A lot of people are all excited about it. There's varying opinions on it, but we'll see
it's
how
going
it
to be
plays.
tremendous imagery.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It will, but I think the risk that we're talking about is, just
Celebrity.
overreaching. Does he play into the celebrity stereotype? And does he portray himself as some kind of mythical? I saw something the other day where someone said that Ted Kennedy was like a Ulysses or something like that. So there's a lot of Greek, Roman. I never really paid attention to any of this in school, but there's some ancient type mythology stuff going on, and maybe that's just an effort to play into it.
Here's to ancient.
Nice.
What type mythology? What?
Ancient type.
Ancient type.
I took Latin for like 2.5 years.
Nice.
But it's all gone now, Shep.
Enid Smith, actually Ken Smith writes from Georgia. I think Brett looks more like Peter Brady from the Brady Bunch.
Keep these emails coming because it's really, really good for me.
That's cute.
It's great.
I think
really
that's pretty good.
That's
I mean,
really good.
Peter, which one? That was the oldest one, right?
When
Well, that
it's
was the
time
li-
to change.
The middle one.
Yeah.
Can we
that
get a
one.
Marsha?
No.
The
But
Bears.
you know what's sad?
Who's got the goods? The
You know
Bears.
what's really sad is that when I was in college, I went to the mall, and a little kid came up to me and said, "That's Peter Brady." So she
also,
nailed
this
it.
isn't new.
Yeah, so it's not new.
Ken
Peter
nailed
Brady?
it, by the way. Ken. The White House should get Jeb Bush and appoint him to oversee the storms and the response. He did a great job in Florida as governor. That's Jesse calling out of Valparaiso, which is Fort Walton Beach, Valp. Valp is right off Eglin Air Force Base. Niceville's right up the road from there. Boggy Boys in Niceville. You impressed yet, Jesse?
That's good stuff.
We love watching you online. We don't even watch the networks. What else we got? McCain has decided on his running mate. Oh, they're quoting Drudge. 11 a.m. Friday, developing. Person will be notified tomorrow. Yeah, we've heard all this.
Yeah.
See, now, you know what that is? The Republicans are building hype in the way the Democrats were building hype, but their hype isn't going to be heard as much because there's this hype machine going on here, right?
Yeah, exactly. And, the bet is, I talked to somebody tonight, Pawlenty from Minnesota is looking good.
More so than Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
Tim Pawlenty. Really?
Picked up some steam.
How
past
did
couple
that happen,
days.
Brett?
I don't know. We thought it was leaning Romney. I think it's leaning Pawlenty now.
Sometimes they make you think there's a late lean to sort of throw you off so it seems surprise-ish. But you
True.
would know that because your antennae are good. You're better than that aluminum foil, for real.
Yeah, I know. I don't think that there are a lot of Romney people inside the McCain campaign.
Yeah, what is that? There never really have been.
I mean, there were a couple of months ago, according to Carl Cameron.
Well, I mean, since we started talking about this
full time.
full-throated.
Yeah. And I think it came down to there were actually some Lieberman people in there.
I know that for sure because I've talked to you have infinitely more sources than I do, but I've heard a couple people say Lieberman is really being talked about.